This is a narrated version of Chapter 15, Cyberpatterns, Criminal Behavior on the Internet. As computers and networks become more prevalent, investigators are encountering an increasing amount of digital evidence of witness, victim, and criminal activity. A criminal can use the Internet proactively to enhance his current MO or reactively to avoid detection and capture. The Internet gives offenders greater access to victims, extending their reach from a limited geographical area to victims all around the world. Cybertrails refer to digital footprints left behind by victims and offenders as they move through the world, electronic and otherwise, and often third-party providers. As offenders become more aware of digital forensic techniques, they are employing concealment tools and techniques such as encryption, misleading file names, or disk wiping. It is important to consider when digital evidence should be present but is absent. Profiling computer criminals. To date, the majority of efforts to apply profiling to crimes involving computers have focused on criminals who target computers. Although these efforts to increase inductive profiles give a general overview of past offender and may be useful for diagnosing and treating psychological disorders, they are of limited use in an investigation. Digital behavior of unknown offender. Criminal profiling assists investigators by distinguishing whether a single offender committed multiple crimes, providing likely offender characteristics to aid the technical investigation, identifying likely suspects from a given pool based on the offender's skill level, access to victim or target, and other technical characteristics. Revealing MO and signature to help investigators search for related behaviors and to assess offender motivations. Giving insight into offender motivations. Assessing the dangerousness of the offender. And revealing additional sources of evidence. Digital behavior of unknown offenders. Feeling protected by a level of anonymity, individuals often do things on the Internet that they would only imagine doing in the physical world and express thoughts they would otherwise keep to themselves. Digital evidence may also contain information that can be used to determine the offender's sex, age, occupation, interest, relationship status, and other potentially useful information. Victimology. Given the growing number of people encountering and communicating with each other on the Internet, it must be considered that the offender had contact with the victim using the Internet. In addition to exploring the possibility of a link between the victim and the offender, investigators can gain some understanding of the victim as an individual from his or her Internet activities. Examples include victim's regular web pages, access points to the Internet, and patterns in activity. Victimology. It is important to consider digital evidence when assessing the victim risk. The following examples reflect victim risk levels. High-risk victim, unintended child in an Internet chat room who talks to strangers. Low-risk victim, individual who avoids going into certain areas unaccompanied and does not give personal information to strangers. The Internet can influence victim risk, putting an otherwise low-risk victim at high risk of certain crimes. Deductive profiling of computer intruders. When an offender uses the Internet to commit crimes, it can be difficult to pinpoint all of the relevant digital evidence. An offender's MO or signature will indicate that he or she uses private areas that may never show up in a routine search. Developing an understanding of the offender's MO can direct investigators to look for particular traces of digital behavior or to monitor particular virtual areas where the intruder is likely to appear. This ends this narrated version of this PowerPoint presentation.